That is
Period.
always scary.
Please. Welcome to the diary room, Shinx.
Hello.
Let's just get right into it. Um, how have you felt with how the week has played out?
I think this week has been very stupid. No disrespect to any of the players. I just think all the events that have gone down have been a little what the fuck. Like, Crow gets this random ass advantage and he's not saying where it came from, even though it very likely came from the Yankee Swap HOH. And of course, Miranda was not prepared to have to nominate a third person after basically telling the whole house that she's doing Crow and Sammy. So then she, like, in a panic, just immediately nominates Michael with like no warning, which was already like a bad decision. And then, of course, with everyone's luck, not only does Crow get picked for the veto, he also wins the veto and then saves Sammy because, of course, he does. Because we're boring and have never used the veto before, so he has to shake things up by his own words. And then we get to this little arena on roulette, as I always like to call it. And Miranda is like so set on doing Ryan. And I'm like, this doesn't make sense. It's not really the best thing for my game, obviously. And I don't think it's also the best thing for hers, but I don't know where all her loyalties stand. Like, she's probably closer to Aiden or Jordan than Ryan. But from my perspective, I don't think this was the greatest decision to take out a comp beast when she already has two comp beasts going after her. And if she's hinging on me to be her savior, she's going to be severely disappointed. And yeah, that's about my reaction thus far.
So, Crow does win the veto and takes off Sammy. And, I saw y'all kind of scrambling as far as trying to convince Mira not to nominate Ryan. So, kind of how was that campaigning from your perspective?
Yeah. I didn't want to push too hard because I do have a good relationship with Aiden from what I can like tell thus far. And it's not like I wanted him to go up or I wanted Ryan to go up or I wanted Jordan to, but it was like we're the only five options because there's literally no one else can go up at this point. So it was like at this point, I've someone has once said I've seen this said in like orgs and all the shows and stuff. If you're everyone's friend, you're no one's friend, or whatever the fuck the quote goes like. And I'm like, yeah, if I have all these alliances with people, it doesn't really matter. Like someone has to go every week, and as long as it's not me, I don't give a fuck at this point. And so it's like, yeah, I might be like before this week, anyways. I might have had Aiden higher up than I had Ryan, but I'm like, I still saw some game benefits to Ryan staying for now because there's obviously like, yeah, Ryan is a comp threat and he's a former winner and this, that, the third. I'm like, yeah, we might not get another chance at him, and I don't want to like be in like Final Four. I'm like, dang, I wish we got rid of Ryan when we had the chance. But in the same breath, I'm like, I don't know if right now was the best time for him to go. But if it's the only time for him to go, then it's like, what can you do? So yeah, I didn't want to push too hard because I didn't want Miranda to like go tell Aiden that I'm trying to get him on the block because that was not exactly the case because I still want to have a relationship with Aiden. I just didn't want Ryan up yet. And I couldn't tell her all my reasons because the whole like Blaze Aiden backdoor fiasco I'm not supposed to know about. So my whole thing was like trying to get Blaze to tell her about the Aiden thing. And he was like sitting on it until this morning and Miranda wasn't really talking that much to me, and she wasn't talking to Ryan at all. And it was like, okay, yeah, I don't think there's that much that I can say or do here that I haven't already said without like blowing up anyone's spot. Because I could have told her about how Michael tried to flip the vote, but I still have a girl on her during the Malik round. But I'm like, I still have a good relationship with Michael, and I don't want to throw him under the bus in case she doesn't listen to me. and then like all that ammunition's out the fucking window. But I also still don't even know where Michael fully stands, anyways. But I still would have rather him like have not left this week. But now I think Ryan's gonna go no matter what because Blaze like took too long to talk to Mira, and then by the time I woke up to talk to her myself again, it was an hour too late. She already did the renom, so it was like not much more I could have said or done. I think not to blame Blaze, but I think a lot of it was on him just because he was like the information epicenter with what I'm not supposed to know versus what I do know. And yeah, he kind of sat on it for maybe a little too long, but I honestly don't know if it would have made a difference because she just seemed so headstrong on it even before any other name was like thrown out.
Sounds good. So Ryan does ultimately get nominated. So, it's Michael versus Ryan on the block. Um, who do you feel like you would like to stay if you had control over the votes?
If I could swing the entire votes, I'd keep Ryan around because he's gonna go after Sammy, he's gonna go after Crow, now he's gonna go after Mira. But in the same vein, it's like this I'm not like neglecting like the fact I don't care about the tutors in the sense of like, oh, they're vets. I feel like I probably played more orgs than both of them, but in the sense of like their exact history in this org has like Michael was like a comp away from winning. Ryan did win, so it's like that stuff is like it's like yeah, at least one of these like heavy hitters is definitely going to go home. And I just have not been very sure of where I stand with Michael versus where I stand with Ryan. But I also know if it came down to it, I could probably beat Michael in more stuff than I could beat Ryan in, unless Michael's been throwing this entire time, which he's got me snowed, if that's the case. So I'm like, I'm ultimately like fine. I can probably adapt no matter how this goes. But I do think it is better for my game if Ryan stays a little longer. I just don't know how much I can like push for that without because especially if it's not going to work, I don't want to alienate Michael anymore. And I'm like, as of right now, I don't even know how the votes are going to fall. I believe Ryan is already like dead on arrival, but I'm like not opposed to throwing a hinky vote if I feel like it. We'll see how I feel when I cast my vote. But yeah, I'm not sure what can be done, but I'm gonna like try to put feelers out. I still got like 7 hours to do that as of right now. But I think Ryan doomed if what I know is the truth.
Okay, I was gonna ask how, like, kind of what do you think would need to happen as far as the Save Ryan plan goes, but I guess you're still figuring that out.
Yeah.
So, really, I want to know for you moving into next cycle, like how important for you. I know you've been throwing HOH, but like, do you intend to try to win now? And if so, kind of what are your plans?
I do intend to win, but I also think I don't from what I gather, I don't think I have to win, but I'm not afraid to win anymore. Like I'm not upset. Like I'm not gonna be like, dang, I'm damaging these relationships, yada yada yada. Because at this point, I feel like a solid case can be made for most people to nominate Sammy and Crow, and I won't feel like I've betrayed Sammy anymore. Because at this point, like you guys are a comp beast duo, and we're getting down to the wire. Y'all need to be split up. And that's something that I can just like say straight on and not feel bad because there's not like any more like Livies or Vals or anything to like distract from that. So yeah, I do think in most cases I should be fine if I don't win HOH, knock on wood, but I am like I'm not gonna like sit back and just like throw in the gameplay around me at this point. If I lose, it's nice to know that like I should have a cushion if I do lose, but I also like want to start winning stuff because I do feel like I'm losing a bit of control, and it'd be nice to like snap back into that.
Right, very fair. So at this point in the game, I like to start asking, what kind of have you started mapping out like end game plans as far as like who you think you might want to sit next to, how you're going to get there, all that?
Yeah, I'm not fully sure. I'm like, at this point, I usually have like a solid definitive ride or die, like named, like, yeah, we're gonna ride this out. But I don't fully like, I think Blaze and I have been like hinting towards that, but we've never like outright stated it. And that's partially because I don't want to like promise anyone final two, and then like if I think they're better than me, I would cut them. So I don't want to like be in that position. But sometimes it makes people like a little like weary if you don't already have a stated final two. I think Blaze and I have an unspoken thing, and there was a time where I would have considered Jordan, Aiden, or Michael to also be unspoken things just by like the way that we talked about the future of the game. But now I'm not too sure. I don't like there's no one that I'm like dreaming to sit next to. I think the reality situation is Crow is probably like the best person to take the final two as of right now. But I'm like, I don't want to go that route because I do feel like he's not someone that can easily be fully controlled. So it's like I don't want to like hit not like control, but like his goals and mine don't necessarily align. And I don't want to like hitch my wagon onto that, especially while he still has Sammy, and that's always going to be his priority. Maybe if Sammy gets dispatched by like not me, I could try to scoop up Crow and go that route. But as of this current moment, I'm just like I feel like if I get there, I can stand a solid chance. There's still like half the game left to be played and a lot of like resumes to be built up. A lot of our games have all been fairly similar to this point with the like with all the weeding out of the like the lesser active players. Like how most of us have not seen the block. I think at this point now it's just Mira, Ryan, Michael, Sammy, and Crow who have been on the block. So there's still four people of the final nine that have not gone up once yet. So like a lot of these stories are going to be the same, and it's now's the time where everyone has to start making their differentiations, and it's like I can like for me, I could say, "Oh yeah, I won the first two competitions, and then my social game helped avoid me the block, helped me avoid the block for the part of for all of the pre-jury, and then going into the jury phase, that's where I like turned it up and stopped throwing again, and like maybe I just like stayed true to my physical nature and just like won out or something. We'll see. Or it's like a Blaze or an Aiden could say they didn't win anything thus far and they just fully navigated through the relationship. So it's like now's the time where everyone is going to start like trying to like look for that path and form out their legacy. And for me, I think my main goal right now is to like knock out. I get if Ryan does go, my new goal is just going to be take out all the other competitors. And if that opens the door for me to win out, then I'm gonna run through the fucking door, obviously. But if I have to like try to fall back on my social game, I feel more than capable to like take that risk. So yeah, I don't have an ideal final two partner right now. At this point, my goal is just like get closer to final two and then lay out the land with what and who is there. Like I do think anyone stands a good chance against me, and I stand a good chance against them back because everything has been so similar right now. So once some more differentiation is like made up between people's games in this next phase, it'll be a lot more easier to tell like who's an easier beat or who can you not take to the end at all.
Right, fair enough. Um, so I know you mentioned in your diary room, like your intention was kind of to write it out with MLM. So, kind of now with everything that's happened, where do you feel like you're putting most of your eggs currently?
I am I like I yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think Blaze is like my number one in the sense of everything except an actually stated deal, just because he has been in like most, if not all, of my alliances. And so I guess a lot of my eggs are in that basket, especially as it's seeming to look that Miranda's allegiances lie more towards Aiden or Jordan, or at least that alliance. I call it the Call Out Alliance because that alliance is a stupid name. But yeah, the Call Out Alliance versus MLM. So I'm like, does she favor Aiden and Jordan over me and Blaze? like, what's up with that? And so my trust in her is kind of shaken a little bit. And then Aiden and Jordan are another like duo that seems to be forming, or like the perception is that they're becoming a duo. So it's like I do still trust them individually, but I'm like, if it comes down to it, will they pick each other before they pick me? And I'm honestly a little bit of a free agent right now. Like I think if I don't, I'm not gonna throw, but if I don't win HOH, I think I can at least cozy back up to Sammy and try to work back into good graces with Crow, and maybe like that's an avenue that I can go down. But if I win HOH and put them up, obviously I'm gonna be burning that bridge, which I'm willing to do. So I do think I have options right now, especially because I'm still not full. Like I know those two are gonna go after Mira. Mira still wants to go after those two. I'm not sure what Aiden or Jordan would do. I think Blaze is still sus of Aiden because, as far as I know, they still haven't talked out their whole like backdoor beef yet. But now I think Blaze wants to do that today. Now that he's like spoken it out there to Miranda and stuff. So yeah, basically TLDR, my eggs are mainly in Blaze's basket, like kind of by default. But I'm still like open to working with anyone. But I do like my plans as of right now are to get rid of Sammy and Crow, but if they win, I will happily like cuddle up beside them. They'll have no idea, hopefully.
Like, fair enough. Um, let's see. Let's see. Okay. So that's most of the questions I would ask. My last one is just kind of, I don't know when you last updated your trust rankings, but if you kind of wanted to let us know where you're at right now.
Yeah, I just did them a few days ago. Let me see if I can scroll. Okay, I found them. Yeah, so as of 2 days ago, I think we didn't even have an HOH yet. Yeah, the eviction had just happened at the point. So it was Blaze, Miranda, Ryan, Jordan, Aiden, Michael, Sammy, and Crow. And now at this moment, it has I can just like retype it. Now it's I still think one is Blaze. I think two he's probably gonna leave, but I'll say Ryan anyways. This one's where now it's supposed to get tricky. I'm gonna say three is Jordan and four is Aiden, just because I still have no plans of going after them right now, and I don't think they have plans of going after me. But I'm still like kind of
Hmm.
they won't target me, but I'm like they're kind of like at arm's length. And then 5 is Mira. I still trust her, but I'm like, where are your priorities? I don't know. And I also can't trust her to win a competition and save me. Like I already don't trust her competition ability as is. And I do think if I was next to somebody that wasn't her and she had to save me, I don't think she would save me over any of the people I just listed. So while I do trust her to not target me, I don't trust her to like save me, if that makes sense. And then Michael stays at 6 because I just have no real read on him at all. Like I like he's as you guys know, Michael like doesn't show up until like 6 p.m. every day, which is fair. He has a life. Like I don't care. I'm just like I can't fully tell where he's at. I still think he's with me and Blaze. I don't doubt that. I also think he might be with Sammy and Crow. But I also know that now he's pissed at Mira, and if he wins, he might go down that route. But I'm just like Michael is like an enigma. Like I can't place him higher. I want to place him higher, but I can't place him higher because I just don't have enough evidence to like know exactly where he stands as of right now. And then Sammy, I do still trust her a lot, but it's like I know her priority is going to be Crow, and I do think she has my back. I don't think Sammy will go after me. I know she's going to go after Mira first, but it's like, who's that second seed going to be? Is it going to be Blaze? Is because then I'm like, God, I'm Mira Blaze now. I'm set. I don't even know if Blaze has the numbers with like Jordan and Aiden voting anymore. So it's like I don't. I trust Sammy won't go after me, but I don't trust that her goals fully align with mine. And it's honestly probably better for me if she goes by not my hand because it frees up Crow. But I still personally, in a Sammy Crow Nom set, I would probably save Sammy before I save Crow because I still have a better relationship with Sammy than I do have one with Crow. And Crow is still last place because it's like I don't. There's only so much I can have with him right now. It's like he's not even willing. Like I get why he's keeping his cards to his chest, but he's not even willing to tell me if he used the power on himself or if someone else used it on him. And I'm like, okay, if you can't even like give me this crumb of information, I can't do anything with you or for you. And if your plan is just ride it out with Sammy and win or die, then that seems to be the bed he wants to lay in. And yeah, that is where I stand right now. And if Ryan gets flung, then everyone else will move up a spot by default because he's currently at number 2.
All right, fair enough. Well, thank you, Shinx. This was very informative.
Of
Let me end Mr. Craigbot.